The American people have felt the tariffs, and they do not like them.
Donald Trump's approval rating is underwater today, just as the Supreme Court has shot down his moronic and wildly unpopular tariff policy in a 6-3 decision, marking a major milestone and win for congressional independence, curbing the power of the president, and judicial legitimacy. So we're going to go take a gander at the old approval rating, not only just for Donald Trump, but also his tariffs, and spoilers, they're really, really bad, like really bad.
I have rarely seen public opinion turn against something as quickly as they've turned against new tariffs, Trump's tariffs. What are we talking about here? Well, you go back when Trump was reelected back in 2024. Look, the majority of Americans, the slight majority of Americans, favored new tariffs. Look at that, 52%. But look at the switcheroo. The opposition went from 48% in November of 2024 up like a rocket now to 63% of Americans who oppose the new tariffs.
Looking back with hindsight on this whole thing, isn't it insane that actually half of the country were on board with tariffs in the first place? It was just such a bad idea from the get-go, and yet like the second the tariffs hit, then people realized, oh, maybe these aren't that good actually, because they started to feel it in their pockets. Things got more expensive, people suffered, and they blamed Trump, who is directly responsible, and made it all about him like it was his policy. Just take a look at what these Liberation Day tariffs did for Trump's approval.
How have tariffs played a role in President Trump's popularity?
Okay, just look at the CBS News polling, right? Okay, if you look before Liberation Day, there were zero polls where Trump had a negative net approval rating according to CBS News. But look at all the polls after Liberation Day, all of them have given Trump a negative net approval rating according to CBS News.
All of the polling. Isn't that insane? Every last poll, Trump is in the negatives after he implemented his tariffs. People hated these things, right? And they directly blame President Trump because Trump, being the narcissistic man baby who wants and craves all the attention wherever possible, he had to make this tariff thing about him, right? He had to be like, Liberation Day, Trump's tariffs, we're doing it, make America great again, I'm Donald Trump, and these are my tariffs. There was no way to separate him from the policy, right? They were conjoined together in a way because Trump did not stop talking about how they were like his idea and spearheaded by him specifically, going against the wishes of Congress, going against the wishes of the American public, and that was immediately felt, and he has just been on the decline ever since. Every single poll, right? This backfired brilliantly because everyone saw the tariffs and directly blamed him for the policy in the first place. And you can't blame him because he's the one saying it. Mwah, beautiful stuff, right? Just chef's kiss. I mean, is MAGA winning yet? Was this the epic liberal own that they expected it to be? Because Trump's approval rating is now hitting all-time lows as the entire country is waking up to his abysmal leadership.
According to the latest AP NORC poll, his approval rating stands at 36%, down 4 points from just last month. And a year into President Trump's second term, 3 new polls show more voters now say Joe Biden did a better job as president than Donald Trump.
36% in a year. It took him a year to get there. In 1 year, he went from winning the election to barely a third of the country approving of his actions. The GOP is floundering right now because Trump and his terrible immigration and tariff policy is just completely shattering their reputation, mixed with his failure on the whole Epstein situation. It's a losing battle. Clearly, the tariffs were a complete failure, right? And Trump was really pushing the limits of the presidency here, right? Trying to just get that little extra boost of presidential power that he so craves. So much so that the extremely conservative Supreme Court, which 3 of the members were nominated by Trump himself, ruled against him that this was not okay. Amy Coney Barrett, John Roberts, and Neil Gorsuch joined the liberal justices to strike this down. It's just beautiful stuff. I feel like I'm doing the Trump hands right now. Beautiful stuff. It's just beautiful, folks. It really is. And now everyday people are celebrating this decision.
Regarding this ruling, I am ecstatic that the Supreme Court did what is required by the Constitution to put the power of the purse back with Congress where it belongs. One man, one president does not have the power to levy taxes, which is an extra tax on the American people, just to punish other countries.
Like, it feels like I can't look at my feed right now or anything online without people celebrating this news everywhere, right? Trump and his tariffs were so hated that even many Republicans are celebrating this decision. Senator Rand Paul wrote this on Twitter, saying, "The Supreme Court defended the Constitution by rejecting the use of, quote, emergency powers to impose taxes. Tariffs and taxes and the power to declare them belong to the Congress. This goes beyond this case. No future administration, including a socialist one, can use emergency powers to get around Congress and tax by decree." Okay, just like throw in the, in case we have a socialist regime out there one day, bam, just in case, bam, let me just throw that out there. Okay, Rand Paul, sure, I guess you're worried about that. He even cites this specific passage from the ruling that says the power to impose tariffs is very clearly a branch of the taxing power, right? And that's from a Supreme Court decision in 1824. And yeah, I mean, I agree with him here. It's also an interesting side note that Rand Paul also tweeted this tweet that like kind of randomly goes after AOC and implying that she could be the president one day. It's an interesting angle of attack and so far out from election especially, but hey, I wouldn't be opposed. And yeah, I mean, I still agree that the power to enact tariffs and taxation should be with the Congress, not with the president, whoever he or she, in Rand Paul's case, maybe. Another Republican celebrating this decision is Thomas Massie, the only active Republican fighting Trump on the Epstein files right now, saying SCOTUS made the right decision on tariffs. Justices Gorsuch, Barrett, and Roberts chose the Constitution over politics. And then he talks about some Republicans who also voted in favor of this decision, one of those being Don Bacon, who also released a statement saying the Constitution's checks and balances work. Article 1 gives tariff authority to Congress. So again, more and more Republicans just going on board. Even Mitch McConnell, or one of his staffers, posted something in support of this decision. I mean, because like, have you seen the guy recently? That probably wasn't him writing it. He doesn't look good. He doesn't look good. But Mitch McConnell says, today the Supreme Court reaffirmed authority that has rested with Congress for centuries. The American people already know that tariffs make building and buying here at home more expensive, blah, blah, blah. It was a good decision. So even though I completely disagree with these people on pretty much practically everything else they believe, good on them for putting country before party in this circumstance. It really does go to show just how unpopular Trump and especially his tariff policy really is. And in fact, the Supreme Court actually kind of gave Trump a gift with this decision, right? If you think about it, now Trump can reverse course if he wants to, move away from tariffs and let go of his stronghold on this policy that he seems so dedicated to. But judging how he reacted to the news and the decision from the Supreme Court at his press conference after the matter, it doesn't seem he's too thrilled about the whole decision.
And I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed. But I am allowed to cut off any and all trade or business with that same country. In other words, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I'm even allowed to impose a foreign country destroying embargo. I can embargo. I can do anything I want, but I can't charge $1. I don't talk to CNN. It's fake news.
Yeah, he doesn't look too happy, so I don't expect much change from Donald Trump. I don't think this is going to be a Christmas Carol, 3 ghosts visiting him in the night, being Amy Coney Barrett, Neil Gorsuch, and John Roberts saying, don't do tariffs anymore. But I don't think that one's going to work out for him too well. But womp womp. You lose, Trump loses, everyone hates your guts, and even Republicans are celebrating this decision because of how unpopular you are. In all honesty, today's a good day. Right? The Supreme Court curbed Trump's power. Everyone celebrates this decision. His poll numbers are in the dumps, and it's a Friday. You can't complain about that. At least at the time of recording this, it's a Friday. I don't know when you're watching this. Could be a Tuesday. If it is, I'm sorry. But I think that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end. I really appreciate it. If you like what you saw in this video, be sure to leave a like down below. Comment. I want to hear your thoughts about this decision, what you think of the Supreme Court, Republicans' responses, all of it. I would love to hear it. And do us a favor and subscribe to the channel. It's a great way to show your support. And hey, it's free. So subscribe down below. Really helps us out a lot. All right, that's going to do it for me. Enjoy your weekend. I'm Iago Lashua. Have a good day. Goodbye.